We got an email about this from Audrey. She says there's all kinds of facial scrubs. Some of them have ingredients like walnuts or olive oil. So instead of buying exfoliating scrub, just make your own. Dr. B, talk to me.
Sorry, Audrey's mom. This is a terrible idea. And that's because we do think that exfoliating your skin, which helps slough off that dry, dead, dull outer layer, adds more glow. Great thing to do maybe a couple times a week. Nuts and nutshells are not the way to do this, because no matter what you do when you grind them, you're going to get little sharp edges that can create tears in your skin, that can be irritating, they can be doorways for bacteria. So really, please don't try to grind up
nuts. That's like doing
nuts.
a dermabrasion on yourself. Leave that to the doctor. I think there's a trend now, and we love the facial masks. We love the scrubs. We know how great exfoliating is. You say get rid of that dead layer, gives you a luster, but it also helps the good stuff you're putting on your skin to penetrate. But I think there's a tendency now, people are overdoing. If you over-treat your skin, maybe it's not going to be breakouts or irritation, but you're going to have an excess production of oil, things like that, which can lead to other skin problems.
Yeah.
So I'm going into a store and I'm looking to buy a good product to exfoliate, say, for my face, which is obviously sensitive skin. What am I looking for?
So there are two categories of exfoliants, and like you said, you just don't want to overdo it. They're chemical exfoliants, which are alpha and beta hydroxy acids. So those are going to kind of from within help turn over and slough your skin. If you can
those
tolerate
are the ones that burn a little bit,
or if you can tolerate a retinol, that's also a great way to turn over your skin. The physical exfoliants you want to be really gentle with. You don't want jagged edges. In fact, there was a lawsuit recently where they're suing one of the makers of these granular scrubs because it does have ground up walnuts in it. It causes so many tears, it can cause bleeding, and like you said, that irritation can cause breakouts, it can cause torn capillaries and redness and flushing.
You know this, so actually the ingredient, the second ingredient in this is walnut shell powder.
Yeah.
Really?
You're saying
so
don't go that way.
Don't go that route, even if it's in a commercial product.
If anyone has gotten a professional facial, they're gentle. They gently work it in. So maybe.
And if they're not gentle, find a different professional.
Exactly. Yeah, omega-3s in the walnuts. Go ahead and eat them. Great for your skin that way.
All right, real quick, docs. Let's hit up one more question. This comes from Pat, who writes, "If you've got diarrhea, just drink some rice water. It really works." So, Pat got this from Mom, and Pat, your mom is smart. Mom is right.
Woo! Thank goodness.
But what I love about this tip, isn't so much in a developed country like our own, okay? Because obviously the electrolyte replacement formulas can be great, but studies show that rice water can be more effective than these electrolyte drinks. And why I like this is if you're in the developed country, or if you're in a developing country and you don't have these electrolyte formulas, you can boil some rice water and give it to your kids, and it's a great way to help replenish, rehydrate, because 1 in 9 deaths are due to severe bouts of diarrhea. And people don't realize that, but across the world, there's a lack of access to clean water, and kids die a lot in these countries, and rice water is an option for them.
And then the idea is you just boil the rice, and then you actually, rather than discarding the water, you use it because it has that starch. And rice has such great binding properties. So anybody who's ever had diarrhea and taken it felt like it just kind of gelled everything back together a little bit. That's what it's meant to do. And so traditionally, even in developed countries, people used to use this BRAT or BRAT diet, which is bananas, rice, applesauce, toast. These are all bland foods that are just meant to calm everything down when you have that diarrhea. So rice is certainly a component of that.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about adding, in the BRAT diet, you're actually trying solid foods. There is a point maybe you can't hold those down, so you've got to stick to liquids, so maybe the rice water would be a good
Yeah, the most important thing is when you have profuse diarrhea, you have to keep up with the water losses, and that's where people get into trouble. They end up having to go to the ER and get IVs, is when you're not replenishing that water in some way, shape, or form. And again, the rice water, I've never had rice water. I've never actually boiled rice and then strained it. Has anyone here ever tried it?
Yeah.
Is it good? Probably slightly sweet, and if someone's feeling sick, maybe something palatable. So this is one that people could potentially use. Rice water.
Yeah,
Thanks so much
Mama
to
some
Pat's
credit
mom.
for this one, so
1 out of 3, that's not bad.
1 out of 3.